All right, folks, listen. In this video, um, I just came up, it just came up in the last stream. And we were just, talking about whatever was coming up. And somehow I got on the topic of Free Willy, the movie. And it led, you'll see how it led. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And you'll see how it led to that. Okay. But before I well, actually, let me talk about that now. So what I was mentioning was because we were making fun of how those people who run this matrix, how they mock us with their ridiculous uh, humor. You know everything is about the wiener and the pee-pee and they're just sick. Okay, and they created our minds to constantly, they bombard us with this, all this sex stuff, and they make it into humor. So they bring it into our daily conversations and all that other stuff, with jokes. But anyway, so this, uh, I was mentioning how Elvis, the, hold on, my brain is occupied at the moment, but listen, so Elvis, the first president, the only president he visited, besides giving him a Colt 45, you'll see how this goes in a minute. Believe me, you don't want to miss this. So the Colt 45 is what Elvis gave Nixon, okay? And I told you, and the 45 connects to Trump being the 45th president and stuff like that. How are you going to give a gun to a president? You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a moment, And the whole thing, it just tells you exactly where this is leading, okay? Because Presley has the president. It's almost the same letters. Pres. Get it? The first four letters of Presley, and it's like president, and and um, and Elvis's Graceland looks like the White House. Okay, I've talked about this many times. Okay, his where Elvis used to live, right? And so why did he visit Nixon? Well, first of all, for the people who don't know, that he's the 37th president. The 37 is the EL connection because 3 and 7. I live right off the street here, so that's why you hear all these noises. The 3 and the 7 looks like the letters EL. EL means God in Hebrew. Okay, this is not what this video is about, but I'm showing you how it led into it. So when Elvis visited Nixon, that's the reason he visited him, because he's the 37th president. Okay, and his name Nixon, because I told you they love to mock us. His name, his nickname was Tricky Dicky, Dick Nixon. He's got the son in his name, man. Anyway, his name is Dick Nixon. Okay, and they were calling him Tricky Dicky. He was involved in Watergate, and I told you Elvis, his name equals water. Elvis equals reset. Elvis equals water. And how did God reset the earth? With water, right? The flood. So Tricky Dicky was involved in Watergate. Don't you understand? Everything's about the beast out of the sea, because Elvis is the beast out of the sea. So you have the water connection and the gate, which is the portal. And listen, I'm not going to get into all of the connections with Washington being the portal and all this other stuff, right? Which I could talk about. Elvis being the serpent, Washington equaling the serpent, and all that stuff. Forget about that. Uh, so we're talking about the Watergate scandal, right? Because that's what Nixon was in, right? That's why he resigned. So Nixon, Tricky Dicky, was in that Watergate scandal. And what was the big deal with that Watergate scandal? There was uh, a person involved called Deep Throat. You see? And the guy's name is Dick. Get it? Tricky Dicky. And folks, this is something I've talked about years ago. All right? I'm talking about years ago. And so Tricky Dicky involved in with Deep Throat. Okay? So there's your Dick reference and the Deep Throat, right? And then, because I told you Elvis has everything to do with presidents. Pres, Presley, you understand? And serpent starts with SERP, same four letters, you know. And Elvis's Graceland looks like the White House. He gives him a 45. Trump is the 45 who's going to get the head wound. Get it? Anyway, so what else? Other presidents involved in this nonsense? You have George Bush Sr. George Bush Sr. when he was running against the other person running against George Bush Sr. was a guy named George Dukakis. Besides having the George connection, wait a minute, his name was his name George Dukakis? No. What was his name? First name? Dukakis. I forgot what his first name was now. My brain's not working. But anyway, stupid George Bush, his name is Bush, and the other guy's name is Dukakis. So you got the cock and the kiss and the do cock kiss, and you're going against Bush and the cock, get it? And then, yeah, his name was Mike Dukakis. Thanks. My brain just went blank again. I'm thinking I have so much in my mind right now. So you have George Bush Sr. going against the Dukakis. Okay, then his son George Bush Jr. he hired his running mate to be Dick Cheney. So you have the Bush and the Dick again with the son. So do you see what I'm saying? The father, the son, because they love to mock God. Everything these people do mocks God. That's why Elvis died on the toilet, because Elvis was known as the king. He dies on the toilet. The toilet is called the throne because they love to mock God. And what was Elvis doing? He was reading a book called The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus as he's dying on the toilet. So the king dies on the throne, get it? Because Jesus is the king. He's the only king, all right? And anyway, so you have the George Bush connections with the Dukakis, the Dick Cheney, Bush, you know, the double Bush, and you have and there's all kinds of Elvis connections. Because George Bush Jr. was the only one to actually, a sitting president, while in office, to go visit the Graceland where Elvis lived, George Bush Jr. And while he was in office, and he took the Japanese prime minister, whose name was Junichiro. June, a chair, O. That's like saying the seat of O, chair, O, June. Because that's when I'm telling you that Washington State's going to get struck in June. And he took this guy, Prime Minister Junichiro, and you know Elvis is born on January 8th. And look at the date this guy's born. When was Prime Minister Junichiro born?
Junichiro Koizumi was born on January 8th, 1942.
So he's born on Elvis's birthday, and Elvis died at the age of 42. And he's born at 42. You see what I mean? Everything connects, and he's the only one to go to Graceland, George Bush Jr., with this dude he took, Junichiro. Okay? Anyway, so then, remember, Elvis is the 42nd. He died at the age of 42, Elvis. And Washington State is the 42nd state where this June 11th event is going to be in Washington State, right? The 42 connection. And who was the 42nd president? Bill Clinton. And what was Bill Clinton's nickname? One of his nicknames was Slick Willy. Slick Willy. What does the word slick have in it? Lick. Lick Willy. Willy's a wiener reference. Lick Willy. And what happened to Bill Clinton? He had his willy licked. Do you understand how ridiculous this is? All right? And this is everything I've said in the past. This is nothing new. I've talked about this many years ago. Many, many, many years ago. All right? So now we went from, because they were calling him Slick Willy, right? So I was thinking, because I remember Bill Clinton being around as president in 93. I think he started, right? So that's why I looked it up. I said, oh, I wonder when Bill Clinton became president, right? Bill Clinton's first day in office was January 20th, 1993. So in 1993, the beginning, okay, Bill Clinton became president. And they were calling him Slick Willy. Look at this. So then I looked up, when was Free Willy released?
In the United States of America, Free Willy was released on July 16th, 1993.
So, so Free Willy, the movie, was released the year that Slick Willy freed his Willy. Do you get it? In the White House. So, and the Free Willy is a beast out of the sea. Do you understand? It's a beast out of the sea because Elvis is the beast out of the sea. He is the biblical beast out of the sea, and you will see it. It will manifest, okay, eventually after this June 11th event. It's Elvis is going to come out of that uh, uh, event, okay. Anyway, so we were looking up the Free Willy thing, and then I looked up the cast. Who's the cast of Free Willy?
Free Willy has a cast of 51 actors.
So this guy was
Here
the
are
main
first three:
character.
Jason James Richter, August Schellenberg, and Michael Madsen.
Look at his name, Jesse. And Jesse, somebody in the chat had mentioned, because I had talked about this years ago, but I can't remember every single detail of every connection, especially if something I haven't talked about. But I talked about this because I did this exact same research before. So the person in the chat says, hey, the person's name was Jesse. And so I look it up and I was like, or maybe I mentioned, I can't remember now. All I know is I said Elvis's identical twin's name is Jesse, right? And then somebody in the chat said in Free Willy too, because I was connecting Elvis to Free Willy, right? That's how I went there. And then when I saw Jesse, yeah, I saw that. I saw Jesse was the character. I said, oh, that's Elvis's identical twin's name. Isn't that weird? You know, that I was connecting Elvis to Free Willy, and then Jesse's the middle, his identical twin that died of birth, Elvis, right? And then somebody in the chat said that in Free Willy 2, check this out. Who is Free Willy 2 Elvis connection? Oh, man. Free Willy 2 Elvis. How come I can't get it this time? What was I supposed to write? Who played Free Willy Elvis?
Francis Capra. According to IMDb, Free Willy 2, The Adventure Home. Francis Capra as Elvis. IMDb.
Yeah, so there was an Elvis reference in Free Willy 2. Get it? Because it's the twin. And think about how crazy that is. So not only do you have, we were exactly right with the connecting the Free Willy, you know, to it. Oh, and somebody's saying, yeah, hold on. Where was the movie Free Willy supposed to be? Yes, that's right, the Pacific Northwest. Isn't that Washington State? Let's see. Hold on. Well, it says Pacific Northwest coastline. I'm not sure if it says Washington. No, it's filmed in Oregon, but it's supposed to be the whole coastline, I guess. I don't know. Was Free Willy in Washington State? No, it doesn't say Washington, but it doesn't matter. It's still part of the Pacific Northwest, you know what I mean? Someone's saying, can we watch Free Willy together? You know what? We need to watch that. Absolutely. We need to watch parts 1 and part 2. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, the 1993 film Free Willy was filmed in Washington State's San Juan Islands. There it is right there. See? That's what it says right there. In Washington State. So there was a Washington State reference. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so anyway, so then I remembered. No, it's Washington State. It says it. Great catch. And to that person who mentioned it earlier too. Now I can't remember who mentioned it. I think it was Marge. I know she's not in the chat right now, but Marge mentioned it. Marge Connor mentioned it, the Elvis connection. Even though I mentioned it before, I just forgot. So, uh, and then now Dream World just mentioned the Washington State connection. Anyway, so listen. So then I thought to myself, okay, since we're talking about movies, yeah, that's why I was talking about it. Someone's saying Willy. Yes, Free Willy. That's what the whole thing was that I was talking about with Clinton, the slick Willy. Anyway, uh, anyway, so then I started thinking about, oh yeah, I remember talking about the twin connection with Home Alone. Now let me show you the Home Alone connection. Wait, who's the groundskeeper Willy? What? I don't know what that means. The groundskeeper, who's that? Let me just show you this. So this was a video I did. This is a short video. It's only 5 minutes. Let's just watch it together. In the movie, in the show Simpsons. Give me a second, folks. So they're saying in this movie, folks, listen. They're saying that this person in the background was supposedly Elvis. There was some kind of rumor that Home Alone. Show you how Elvis and Trump are the devil twins. It's going to be a short video, and I've shown this before in the past, but I have to redo the video because YouTube terminated my channels, And anyway, so there's a bunch of videos about Elvis being in Home Alone, okay, the movie. And now I'm going to show you why they did this. And by the way, there's lots of articles too about this. Okay. And in the movie Home Alone 2, because see, they said that they saw Elvis in Home Alone 1. In Home Alone 2, Donald Trump made a cameo. Okay? Excuse me, where's the lobby? Down the hall and to the left. So that was the whole scene of Trump in Home Alone 2. Just a worthless scene, no point in, him being in there. But now I'm going to show you why they put him in there. Because like I said, Elvis and Trump are the devil twins. And remember, this was Home Alone 2. So before I show you the clip, and the clip is going to be much more, the images are going to be really bad, but right here is the best image I could get of this guy. So this is Home Alone 1. They're saying that this guy in the back right here is supposedly... Yes, it looks like J.D. Vance. There you go. Great catch. Yes. This blurry wow, that's what I was telling everybody. That this is where he looks like J.D. Vance. But this looks like J.D. Vance. Movies, he kind of looked like this. But when you were watching that, when you watch that clip, you would just real quick, I want to make sure people understand this. When I was telling people that people kept saying that he kind of looks like Elvis, I said, yeah, this is the picture that I always tell everybody that he looks like J.D. Vance in, this particular picture that he uses. And I showed that to everybody but now that looks like J.D. Vance, yeah. When you saw it. Here's the actual guy. This is what he looks like. See, that doesn't look like him here, but in that other image it did. There's no Elvis resemblance at all. You know what I mean? But here, I can... Right here, blurry, it looks like him. In the movie, he's a nobody. But now I'm going to show you the scene. Before I started, notice that it says the word hell right there. Look, it says Scranton. Isn't that where that stupid Biden... All right, let me just tell you something. So again, what I was trying to tell you was I'm trying to tell you why they're showing this scene with the woman trying to get to her son. Notice they said 8-year-old because Elvis was born on the 8th day, But listen to what she says. And remember, the Elvis guy's right behind her.
Care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike? If it costs me everything I own, if I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I am going to get home to my
Did you hear that?
perpetual hope.
Remember, Elvis is behind her.
If it costs me everything I own, if I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I am going to get home to my son.
So before I play it again, I want you to notice that, like I said, there's the Elvis extra that was standing right behind her when she said what she said, okay? And notice she said 8-year-old son. And you know, Elvis, he was born on the 8th day of the year. Okay? So, when I play this again, listen to what she says while Elvis, you know, Satan himself in the flesh, the devil twin of Trump, is standing right behind her as she's saying this. And remember, the word hell is already in the subtitles.
I am trying to get home to my 8-year-old son. And now that I'm this close, you're telling me it's hopeless. I'm sorry. No, wait. This is Christmas. The season of perpetual hope. And I don't care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike. If it costs me everything I own, if I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I am going to get home to my son. And the reason they came up with this ridiculous Elvis is in home. And also, yes, John Candy, the JC, exactly. The John Candy's right there next to him, the actor. And JC initials. Jesus Christ's initials, right? And also, didn't John Candy play Uncle Buck? You got the Buck reference, because I told you the Buck guy's for Trump head wound on August 4th also. Yeah, it's got the Christmas reference, the Christ reference. It's all connected right there. The fact that this person is saying that she's going to sell her soul to the devil, and they're saying that looks like Elvis. First of all, nobody would think that looked like Elvis. They came up with that. Nobody would have just said, oh, that looks like Elvis. No. But they put it in your mind, then you're like, oh yeah, when he had that beard that time, yeah, maybe I could see that. But that does not look like Elvis. But because they tell you it kind of looks like him, they go, yeah, you're right, it could, you know. But that's what I'm talking about. That was the only scene where the guy's in there, and that's the only scene where they show Elvis. I mean, that they said that Elvis is in. That's the only scene, you know? But that would make sense, you know. I was telling you guys that if something happens to Trump, and I guess if it is J.D. Vance who gets, you know, I don't know. I think that they could take J.D. Vance out too on that day when Trump gets his head wound. So we don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But, or he could be the one that, you know, brings out the mark. Who knows? That would be incredible, considering that he has that Elvis, you know, vibe. But anyway, what else did I say in this video? Like I said, this is the best image right there of the guy standing behind her, you know. When she says, I would sell my soul to the devil. I mean, like, what's the chance of that, you know? Let me see if I say anything else in this video. 36713 created this anyway. Let me see. No, I didn't say anything else. No. And she says the word hitchhike. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy connects to the number 42, being the answer to everything. And speaking of the JC, you know, that whole topic of the JC, think about this for a minute, okay? Let me drink some water, folks. Hold on. Just think about this for a minute. You know, John Carpenter is a horror film guy. Just John Carpenter, the director.
Why would a horror film director who has nothing to do with making movies that have anything to do with Elvis, why would John Carpenter make an Elvis movie? Especially, in his, like 2 or 3 years after he started making films, why would he make an Elvis movie, this John Carpenter? And he was one of the first ones to do it. He was one of the first people to do an Elvis movie. I'm talking about, he was the first one to do it, I think, after his death, I believe it was after his death, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let me tell you what the whole purpose of it is in a moment. When did the movie John Carpenter's Elvis get released?
1979.
Yeah, it was 2
According
years
to
after. It was
IMDb.
almost 2 years after he died. So John Carpenter made it in 79. Okay? Now, why did he do it? Why did John Carpenter make an Elvis movie? Because, see, did Elvis used to go as John Carpenter incognito? Oh, man. Did Elvis use the name John Carpenter?
According to IMDb, change of habit. Elvis Presley as Dr. John Carpenter.
Yeah, in the
IMDb.
in the movie Change of Habit, he was known as Dr. John Carpenter. In the movie Change of Habit, that was the one with Mary Tyler Moore. Okay? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he went incognito too. When Elvis would check into hotels, did he use the name John Carpenter?
According to
Yeah,
the
here it is.
reveal, Substack, coincidentally, director John Carpenter would later go on to direct the 1979 TV biopic Elvis. What's more, Presley would occasionally use John Carpenter as a pseudonym when checking into hotels in the years after Change of Habit's release.
So he was John Carpenter before John Carpenter ever became famous. Do you understand? John Carpenter was not even known yet when Elvis was going incognito as John Carpenter. No one knew John Carpenter when Elvis was doing that. He was doing that right after he made the movie. That's what I'm saying. And why did Elvis use that name? Why did he use that name? Because of the JC and the fact that Jesus was supposedly a carpenter. Okay? So it's JC for John Carpenter plus the Carpenter reference, understand? It's complete mockery, but really, what else was the reason? Hold on. Yeah, that's right. Karen Carpenter died of anorexia. That's right. And check this out. So why was John Carpenter used besides his name? But what was the real connection? Because of his birth date. All right. But before I show you his birth date, let's find out who he married. All right. Who was John Carpenter's first wife?
According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, personal life, Carpenter met actress Adrienne Barbeau on the set of his television film Someone's Watching Me. They married on January 1st, 1979, and divorced in 1984.
So they got married 1 month before that Elvis movie came out. Think about how crazy that is. So he marries this person, and do you know why he married her? Wait. So why did he marries her right before the movie comes out? And then they divorce like a few years later in 84. You understand? They divorced in 84. Why did he marry Adrienne Barbeau? When was Adrienne Barbeau born?
Adrienne Barbeau was born on June 11th, 1945.
So not only do you have the 45 connection, you have the June 11th, which is the real connection. So he marries Adrienne Barbeau, this John Carpenter. So she's born on the day I'm telling you Washington's going to get struck, June 11th, and you have the 45 connection, right? So, because Trump, it's all connected to each other, this 45 and the... So he marries this Adrienne Barbeau, and they divorce on 8/4, the day I'm telling you Trump is going to get his head won. August 4th, they got divorced, right? Now, What's important about John Carpenter besides his name? Let's find out when he was born. Because what are my two predictions? 6'11" and 8'4". So if you said it backwards, what would the numbers be? It would be 11648. When was John Carpenter born?
John Carpenter was born on January 16th, 1948.
So January 16th is 11648. Get it? So it's backwards. It would be 84611. You see what I mean? So you have the two prediction dates, 84611, and his wife was born 61145. It's like do you see what I'm saying? So it's this, so their dates were 611 and 116, and the creature was born at 45, he's born at 48. You see what I'm saying? Wait, what are you guys saying in the chat? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, They Live. Yeah, he made the They Live movie, and which had to do with what? What did the movie They Live have to do with? Somebody tell me. What was the important ingredient in the movie They Live? They're not going to tell you. But you know what was the most important thing about the movie They Live? Glasses. Not sunglasses, glasses. Just glasses. You put the glasses on. And why is this important? Why is the glasses important? Does anyone know why glasses is important? Does anyone know? I know what the reason is. I'm going to show it to you. That way you can believe it instead of me just saying it. Glasses are important because look. So the word glasses, look what it equals. Glasses equals 8219. Backwards is 10744. Glasses equals 8219, 10744. It equals the exact same as this word. Seattle. Seattle equals 8219, backwards 10744. Seattle equals glasses. And during the Elvis Super Bowl, because Elvis had a halftime Super Bowl in 89 at the 23rd Super Bowl. Look, at the 1989 Super Bowl, what did Coca-Cola hand out to the people?
According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, halftime show, prior to the game, Coca-Cola distributed 3D glasses at retailers for viewers to use.
So they were giving out glasses. Look, I don't know if you could see this. Look, it says Elvis Presley. You see? That was the halftime show, and they gave out 3D glasses. You see? You see what I'm talking about? That was the only time that they ever gave glasses out. They gave out millions of glasses to people to watch. Can you imagine? They're doing a football game in 3D. What kind of insanity is that? Glasses, because they're telling you. And who won that Super Bowl? It was the only time in Super Bowl history where the score was 20-16, and I showed you all the connections with 20-16. I'm not going to go through it again because it's all connected to Elvis. If you watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. And the Super Bowl trophy, the Super Bowl trophy is called Vince Lombardi Trophy. Vince Lombardi was born on June 11th. The guy who won the quarterback that won the game, the 49ers, Joe Montana, born on June 11th. 49ers, they play at Levi's Stadium. Levi's is Elvis anagram. Don't you see it? Is everybody blind? Is anybody not? Is the world this blind that they can't understand this simple logic that I'm showing? It's so perfect, the puzzle, that, you can't deny it, I'm saying. It's so perfect. And people are, wonder why I keep going, They're like, man, how do you like keep going? Like, because I know it's going to happen. It's impossible for these events not to happen. It's predicted in everything that they do, that they're going to do it. Anyway, folks, but great comments by the viewers. I mean, the last few videos is crazy. Like I told you, it's right in our face, folks. And don't forget that the fact that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown on June 11th, the same year Elvis died. In horse racing, which is the sport of kings, Elvis is known as the king. Seattle's in King County, which is now named after Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. So the king had the king whacked. Elvis the king dies the same year Seattle Slew in horse racing, which is the sport of kings. Seattle Slew's in King County. Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown the year Elvis died on June 11th. The day I'm telling you that Washington State is going to be struck. Seattle, I'm telling you that Seattle is the main, emphasis, but really it's going to affect all of the Washington State. Get out of Washington State, folks. Okay? And, so anything else you guys want to say? Because I have something to talk about real quick before I end the video. But is there anything else we could talk about before I end the video? Because I gotta tell you guys something. We need to pray for somebody in the chat. But first I want to I can't remember now, Rashida. I think I commented and I told you something, right? I'm pretty sure. I think I commented under your video, Rashida. I think you mentioned that you made the video, and I think but if I'll check again. Maybe you didn't see it, or maybe YouTube deleted it or something. Yeah, I'll have to look at it again. Yeah. Yeah, I told everybody that JD Vance has that Elvis vibe because of his eyeliner and the beard thing. And I showed the image that people were saying that he kind of has that Elvis vibe. People were saying that. I said, yeah, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when he was in this one particular movie. And I think that movie was Charo, which sounds like my name, Garo, right? Elvis in the movie Charo.
Elvis Presley.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. Look, here he is. Here's the JD Vance thing that everyone comparing. Why does it keep doing that? Stupid. See, he's kind of got the JD Vance cheeks right there and the eyeliner. That's probably why he's wearing the eyeliner, to look like, that. Let's see if anyone put that out there. JD Vance looks like Elvis in the movie Charo. Let's see. Yeah, nobody put it out there. Can you believe that? You would think somebody would put it out there. What a trip. Yeah, we need to do that. If someone put a hat on him, he would look exactly like him right here. Look right here. If you saw a blurry image, you would think that was him right there. Look at that. That's Elvis right there. And Charo sounds like Garo, my name, you know. And yeah, I can't stand that Charo creature, that hoochie coochie coo creature. That's Charo. She's so annoying. Uh, but yeah, it looks just like JD Vance right here. This particular one right here. This image. I gotta take a picture of this image. That way I don't forget. Hold on, folks. I want to see if I can take a good picture of this one. All right. So, anything else you guys want to say? Folks, I could show you so many connections with Elvis and stuff, you know, but I can't keep just, you know, going through all the connections. It's just too much. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Make sure you comment under the video. That way I can switch over and go straight to your channel to see it, that video again. Yeah, it does. It kind of does have the Clint Eastwood vibe right there too. Yeah, the way he's dressed. Yeah. But anyway, anything else you guys want to say before I end the chat? I just want to tell you guys that we need to pray for somebody. Somebody let me know that one of our viewers is in the hospital and needs prayers. Okay, so we need to pray for this person immediately. Okay, and I mean immediately. All right. So, and I'm sure a lot of you know who it is. It's Crystal. Okay, so make sure you guys pray for her. And I mean hard. Pray for her hard. No, Crystal. Crystal Gem, you know, the one that goes by Crystal Gem. Make sure you pray for her. Okay? Yeah. Somebody, you know, left a comment telling me that she's in the hospital. So make sure you guys pray for her. Yeah, we'll definitely be praying for her. All right, everybody. Make sure you don't forget to pray for her. Anyway, so what else? Like I said, folks, my brain is just so much on it right now. I can't even think straight. Yes, please, everybody pray for her. And I'll leave this video up for at least till tomorrow, you know. Okay. Anyway, God bless all of you. God bless Crystal, and God bless, you know, her family, and God bless everybody in the chat. And make sure you, like I said, make sure you guys pray. Make sure you guys pray really hard for her, okay? All right, folks. God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video.